Yo, alright guys, we're back with another video. I hope you guys are doing well, safe and blessed on this Saturday night. Hope you guys had a good day. To all of those who watch and to those who don't. As you can see, back with another video. As you can also see, got on a new hoodie. And if you guys are wondering why I've had on a hoodie for I don't even know how many videos it's been, but I just don't have a haircut, right? There's nothing like crazy. There's no crazy reason. It's very simple. I just don't have a haircut, right? And this hoodie, I just feel like I look better with it than without it, with not having a haircut. Um, but yeah, I'm not gonna get a haircut till August. But I'll let you guys know to drop on that soon as that day approaches. But anyways, yeah. As you can read, title, volition. And personally, volition is one of my favorite traits. If you want to consider it a trait, it's just one of my favorite traits. Um, the reason I say that is because I'm someone who I like to do things out of my own volition. I like to make a lot of my decisions out of my own volition. I'm just a person of volition. Like I just do things, like I make decisions on my own, right? Now, once again, this generation is influenced, very easily influenced, very heavily influenced. And a lot of people don't make decisions out of their own volition anymore. It's not decisions that come of themselves, right? And it's not a bad thing to be influenced, right? There's obviously positive influence, there's negative influence, there's positive and negative with everything in this world, right? But as people become like more influenced and even more easily influenced, like they just come to make decisions that aren't theirs, right? And they become conflicted because once you feel the need to have some type of influence in every decision that you make or in everything that you do, you just become conflicted, and becoming conflicted in decisions that you have to make, right? To where you feel like you need influence, some type of advice. I don't believe it's a position you want to be in, right? That's not a position you want to put yourself in because in life, you can't run from certain decisions, right? The decisions you do run from, at some point, they tend to catch you back up, right? Like I said in my other videos, life is a game of obstacles and challenges, right? There's decisions you're gonna have to make that are of your own volition, right? Like there can't be any influence, any advice going into it. You have to have 100% certainty in what you're choosing to do, right? And I'm saying this, I'm speaking from experience because growing up, once again, I used to be someone who I was very easily influenced. I wanted advice in almost a lot of things I did, right? I wasn't making decisions with 100% certainty. I was conflicted, right? And those are positions, those are spots that I was intentionally putting myself in, right? And I shouldn't have been doing that. But obviously, as I grew, I tended to make more decisions out of my own volition. And I'm just letting you guys know that because, like, once again, we all have people that we want to be. We're all trying to reach a certain height. We're all trying to attain certain statuses, whatever it is, right? Whatever it may be. Certain items, certain people, even like it's just depending on what you want in life. We're chasing our passions, our dreams, right? And with that comes decisions, once again, that we're gonna have to make. And running to other people for advice, running to other people for their influence on things in your life, like it's not something you want to be doing your entire life, right? Let me give you guys examples because we all have friends. I have friends, you guys have friends. Now, you remember, I think I spoke about it in a different video, but one of my closest friends, right? He runs a clothing brand. And people who run businesses, clothing brands, right? Like those owners, like they made it to where they are making decisions out of their own volition. Now, I'm not saying every decision has to be made out of your own volition. You're right. You can have influence in some of the decisions you make. That's not a bad thing, right? And for the ones that, what I'm saying, are thinking how I think you might be thinking, there's a difference from being influenced and inspired. Okay. So delete that comment you might be typing. There's a difference from that. Now, once again, like I said, with these clothing brand owners, these business owners, right? to get to where they are, to get to where they want to be, decisions have to come out of their own volition. Now, when you're creating clothing brand, you're starting a clothing brand, it's I'm not speaking from experience, I don't know, but what I feel like I know is that clothing brand owners is difficult with the startups, right? Because they're asking people, what they think about their designs, and rightfully so, right? They want to get a little bit of advice, a little bit of influence on what they're creating. Now, with my friend, right? He's far along in his journey on this clothing brand business, right? And he comes to me. He comes to me, and sometimes he asks me, yo, Zaire, what do you think about this design? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Right? And I give him my advice. I give him my opinion. But there was one time he came and he asked me and another friend, one of my other good friends, and he asked us, he was like, yo, what do you guys think about this design? And he asked us multiple times. And I gave him, my advice. I influenced him on what I thought was right. But then I told him, I said, at the end of the day, bro, the decision has to come from you. What we think really shouldn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It should not matter, because I told him it's okay for you to keep coming to us and asking us, but these decisions at the end of the day, when it's final, it has to be you, 100% you, right? Our influence, our advice, it can't be, seeping into your decision. It just has to be 100% you, right? Because I don't want you to come to us in, with every decision, every design you making, and what I'm saying, just asking us, oh, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Like, I want you to trust yourself. You know what I'm saying? Trust yourself. So I told him, right? Another friend I had, you know, he's in the Navy right now, right? For football. But me and him talked about this girl, right? And I'm not gonna put his personal business out there, right? But I'll just tell you guys, we were talking about this girl that he was seeing, right? And boys, people, we talk about the opposite gender with each other, right? Don't act brand new, right? And he was asking me some questions. He would ask me a lot of questions. We'll talk every day, right? And he would ask me questions. I would give him answers, right? And sometimes with more personal, deeper questions, I would give him advice, but I wouldn't influence him. Now, those are two separate things as well. I would give him advice, but I wouldn't influence him. And I would tell him what I would do, not what he should do, right? Because though that is also two separate things, right? Because I'm not telling him what to do. I'm telling him what I would do. Now, when it came to more deeper, decisions, I would tell him, yo, you know what I'm saying? Whatever you decide to do, bro, I support it. As long as it's not anything malicious, it has no, bad intent on it. Whatever you decide to do, I'm going to support it if it's right. The decision just has to come from you, bro. Like, I can't make every decision for you, especially when it's something as deep or personal with the opposite gender. Like, I can't make these decisions for you, bro. Like, my influence shouldn't really matter, to you, because the more and more you keep coming to me about this girl, the more and more you're going to like need my influence on every decision you make, and you're going to become conflicted. And I don't need you becoming conflicted with decisions you're making when it comes to someone, like a girl. You got to make decisions out of your own volition. I told him, I didn't say he has to make decisions out of his own volition. I didn't say volition, but I told him, yo, some decisions, bro, you're going to have to make on your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just going to have to make them on your own. And he understood that. He was like, yeah, I know, bro. But I just like talking to you about these things. And, I understood that. I supported him. We can talk about it, but I want you to understand, I cannot help you with every decision you're going to make. And some people just got to understand that. Like, I understand that. That's why I'm not someone who I go to everybody for advice, or I go to everybody for influence. And I'm not somebody who I'm just influenced by everything and everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make my own decisions. You know what I'm saying? To get to where I want to be, to become who I want to become. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the whole social media era. Like, that's why I said influence. It's easy to influence people. Everybody's easily influenced, heavily influenced with the social media era. But me, not so much now. Not so much now. once again, our journeys are our own, our paths, they intersect, but our decisions have to come out of our own volition because I cannot make your decisions, you cannot make mine. In order to become who you want to become, has to come from you, from within. In order to obtain what you want, has to come from you. Cannot come from me, can't come from anybody else. And the more you grow, once again, and I don't care if you guys are tired of me saying the more you grow, the more, yes, because I'm gonna keep on rinsing and repeating that same phrase. The more you grow, the more you grow, the more you'll make decisions that come from just you. The more you're 100% certain about the decisions you make to where you're not, second guessing yourself for, oh, should I have asked my friend? Should I have asked, my mom or my dad or my aunt, my uncle, my sister, my brother? Should I have? No. The more you grow from within personally, self growth, the more volition you'll have. You know what I'm saying? And another thing with it as well is allow other people, oh, actually, no, never mind. That. Scrap that. What I was gonna say is with letting other people make decisions or do things out of their own volition too, is that I have friends that support me, quote unquote, in content writing what I'm doing, streaming. I can't name you, I really can't name you probably 10 times, 20 times that have been in my streams. I probably cannot name you the exact streams, the exact times, right? They quote unquote support me, right? And I told you guys earlier how I don't remember if I told you guys this, but I definitely mentioned it. Now, I would tell my friends, sometimes I would go in the group chat and I'd be like, yo, like, y'all don't be in the streams or y'all don't do this, y'all don't do that, right? And they would say, yo, I be in there, I'm here, I support you, whatever, right? And sometimes after I would say that, some of them will hop in the stream. Now, I knew the decision wasn't theirs because I said something. Now, when it comes to a situation like that, I don't like for people to be influenced in that way because you're not doing it out of your own volition. And at what point do I know that you are doing it out of your own volition? You know what I'm saying? Like, at what point do I know you're coming into my stream or you might be watching my videos because you want to do it? That aspect of volition is one that I kind of harp on a lot because, once again, people are going to do the things they want to do, right? And you just got to respect it. At the end of the day, you can't, forcefully try to change what people do. You just can only keep moving forward. And that's just an example I wanted to give you guys because I know a lot of people go through that with their friends. But with that, you just got to keep going. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Like I said, volition is it's one of my favorite traits. It's something I've grown in tremendously. As I continue to grow each and every day, as I continue to get better, each and every day progress. Um, I just continue to do things, out of my own volition. And I didn't say volition so many times in this video, but it doesn't matter, right? I'm trying to get my point across, but you guys understand it. So I love y'all. As always, y'all stay blessed, stay safe, keep God first, stay patient, and stay patient because it's on the way. I love y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Peace.